You are a minister of reconciliation. Yes, that is something that we are. We reconcile people to God. We have that power within us that is Christ in us, shining His love to the people around us so that they ask us for the hope that is in us. Okay, in the situations that you're in, if you are in a situation where you are sorrowful and you are going through a hard time, ask other believers to pray over you and enable you to be strengthened in the Lord so that you can still shine Christ even in the midst of your difficult situation. We have hope. That hope, for certain, is that we will be with Christ forever in heaven. And because of that, there will be no more sorrow, no more tears. It's going to be so fantastic. And so we have that hope, and it is a joy to us, because even if this whole time that you're on this earth you are suffering, even if that were the case, still this life is so short compared to eternity, and you will be rewarded for everything that you've had to endure, and it will be worth it. It will be worth it. 2 Corinthians 5:18 through 20 says, "Now all these things are from God, who reconciled us to Himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation." So Christ gave us the ministry of reconciliation, so we have it. Whether we're using it or not, it's in us and we have it, the gift of reconciliation. Namely, that God was in Christ, reconciling the world to Himself, not counting their trespasses against them, and He has committed to us the word of reconciliation. So Christ is reconciling the world to Himself, and it's like we're holding on to God and holding on to that person that we are trying, we're like a person that is trying to the link, trying to bring them to a knowledge of Christ. Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were making an appeal through us. We beg you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. So it's as though God were making an appeal through us. Someone commented on my blog post a few days ago, last week. You are a citizen of heaven was another blog post in this series, 31 Days of Regaining Your Identity in Christ. And they mentioned in that blog post in the comment section that we are ambassadors for Christ because we live in a place that's not our home. We have another city waiting for us in heaven, and that's where we truly belong, not here. When I was talking about our citizenship, I had totally forgotten that we are ambassadors for Christ. And that actually goes with the topic, with that previous topic, because we are a representative of Christ. So we are an ambassador. That's that whole reconciling ministry that we have, and it goes with the fact that we belong in a heavenly city. That's where we belong. That is our home. Our home is not here with all of the evil that is here. We are to shine light into the darkness in the midst of our own struggles. So we are therefore Christ's ambassador, representing Him to the people around us who do not yet know Him. Because we know Christ and He lives in us, that we are that link that can cause people to be reconciled to God because of the love that is in our eyes, the love that causes us to take care of another person more than ourselves, or as much as we would ourselves. That is a supernatural love that does not come naturally. In fact, you can't have that unless you have the Spirit of the living God inside of you. Like a complete stranger. I've ministered to a complete stranger before, and I love them with a supernatural love, and they could see that it was obvious. And somebody asked me one time, "What must I do to be saved?" And I was like, oh my goodness, how easy is that? So I led her to Christ, but it was God drawing her to himself through me as a minister of reconciliation. When people ask us for the hope that is within us, we can tell them that it's Christ. 1 Peter 3:15 says, "But sanctify Christ as Lord in your hearts, always being ready to make a defense to anyone who asks you to give an account for the hope that is in you, yet with gentleness and reverence." So, this implies that people will ask us for the hope that is in us, for an explanation for that hope. And so, that hope is in us, okay? We at minimum have a hope of heaven, but we also have a hope that God will work all things and turn it around for our good also, and that there is an end to any trial that we have in our lives. Just like Job, his trial did not last forever. There was an ending point, even on this earth. Satan is only allowed to go this far and no further, and then boom, you get your breakthrough. Even on this earth. Yes, because that is who God is, and he is a good God and a loving God. Yes. Remember, you are a minister of reconciliation. You have the power within you, who is Christ, to win people for Christ. Just ask for opportunities to share your faith, and it is energizing when you are using your spiritual giftings. The more that you know who you are, the more you can shine out for Christ in the midst of any circumstance. I'm Susan Evans from SusanEvans.org. Thanks for watching.